You're going to make a great physician. You know it, and your family knows it. You just have to convince the medical schools of that fact. You, like all medical school applicants, face the 3 C's of the medical school application process, and they are the complexity of the process. And it is a complex process. You have primary application, secondary application, interviews, most meaningful experiences, recommendations. 2, competition. It's intense. Some schools have acceptance rates of under 5%. And 3, it's consuming. It's actually all consuming, but if I added the A, I wouldn't have 3 C's. It's so demanding, and this is just the last step, the actual application. As a result of the 3 C's, you may be experiencing stress and, frankly, fearing failure because, again, the competition. You really don't want the application hoops to prevent you from becoming the dedicated, capable doctor you know you can be. I get it. I'm Linda Abraham, the president and founder of Accepted, and I've been helping medical school applicants get accepted for over 20 years. Our clients tell us that the medical school application process is as grueling as I just described it, but they also tell us that we help them get accepted. For example, and I want to read you an email that I got from a formerly anxious, nervous client who did quite well in the process. And she wrote, "I don't think I would be at the same place today without your help. So out of 20 secondaries, I received 18 interviews. I went to 11, accepted to 5, waitlisted to 4. At the heart of the work we do with our clients is a 5-step process, and I'd like to give you an overview of that process right now to help you get accepted at medical school. Now, these 5 steps, or 5 elements if you prefer, really have to be in all your medical school applications. They are essential to a successful medical school application. Number 1, you have to convince the schools that you can handle the academic demands of medical school. That is foundational, and it's usually for medical school. It's usually your undergraduate transcript, sometimes a post-bac transcript, and your MCAT score, but that is absolutely necessary. 2, you have to show the schools that you have a realistic view of medicine, and that's usually done through clinical exposure. Have you worked with sick people in clinical settings? Have you worked with stressed medical personnel in clinical settings? They work really, really hard. And you know what? Sometimes when people aren't feeling well, or when they're really, really tired, they're not always that nice. You have to be able to deal with stress and with people who are sometimes not so appreciative as maybe they should be. 3, do you share the school's mission and values? This is something that you're going to primarily show in your secondary applications and in interviews if you're invited to them. But you're going to want to show fit with the school's culture, its mission, and its values. 4, you need to show the schools that you're going to be a contributor while you're there and after you leave the school. How do you do that? Well, you show that you have something distinctive to contribute, either in terms of your background, your achievements, or your perspective. And then you show a history of contribution and making a difference in your life to date. That could be in work, if you're already out of school, or it could be in school, it could be in extracurricular activities, it can be in a variety of arenas. And 5, you want to reveal to the schools the personality traits that they feel are important for physicians. Chief among them, compassion, communication skills, teamwork ability. As the head of Baylor's admissions, Dr. Karen Johnson, recently said on Admissions Straight Talk, medicine is a team sport. You have to show teamwork. Schools also value leadership and analytical skills. I just gave you a quick overview of the 5 essential elements of a successful medical school application. I go into much more depth into all these elements, to each of these 5 elements, in the webinar I gave not too long ago that you can still view the recording of. It's called the 5-Part Framework for a Successful Medical School Application, and I invite you to view the recording of that webinar. To get that additional depth that's provided by the webinar, here's what I suggest you do. 1, go to accepted.com/5success. SUCCESS. Watch the webinar, the 5-Part Framework for a Successful Medical School Application, and then include those 5 essential elements in your medical school application.